the video everyone actually wanted. We are going to do the specs on this thing. And just a bit of an overview so that you guys can understand what's going on with this thing, because it goes right as you've seen, and it's a good fun car which hasn't blown itself to pieces yet, which is always a good thing when it comes to this shit. So we have a nice big Procharger to start things off. This is Brandon. What Procharger was it?
So it's a Raptor VLBX with the billet, impeller, clutch pulley, all that type of stuff that Raptor's done for me. The wider belt to drive because these are belt driven internally.
Yep.
And that's for the cooling. Yeah, it's not intercooled or anything like that. You can get water to air intercoolers, which will fit here, but it doesn't really need it. It's fine. It makes good power as it is with it. So.
What's the actual motor start its life off as?
So it's just a 220 kilowatt 5 litre Windsor.
Yeah.
With the GD40 heads and that. I've got rid of all them though. It's got aluminium Edelbrock heads on it, the Victor Juniors, I think they're called. So it's got Comp Magnum roller rockers, chromoly push rods. The engine itself's just it's all stock bottom end, stock pistons, rods, crank, just with new bearings, rings a gap to suit boost. It's running 9 pound, so nothing too major. But yeah, it makes good. It makes 306 kilowatt at the wheels. So, but I've put, I'm going to go E85, so I've done the lines and everything, the pump, injectors, everything's all ready to go. I just need to get it tuned now.
Yeah, wicked. And cam, what spec was that?
The cam spec.
So we've got it listed for all you guys. If you want the actual, if I can get it to focus.
I'll put it on the bench.
Yeah. For you guys, this is the exact cam spec for you. Come on, focus in. There you go.
And they probably want to see the bottom bit.
If you're interested, there's the proper specs instead of talking gibberish.
It's to suit the blower, which makes good because it makes real good torque and power and all up top. It's got 4-into-1 pacemaker headers, which work really well. They've been hot coated.
What, like a ceramic coating or some shit?
Yeah, just to try and keep the engine bay temps down, even though they still get pretty hot. But
yeah, right. Which I guess it's pretty hard when you're caning something like that.
100%. But yeah, so. But standard manifold, everything's pretty stock on it. Only thing it's really got is cam heads and a blower. There's not really too much else to it.
That's doable for the average Joe. You don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to have something that's good fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, even if you, like a standard Windsor, you just bolt that on, you can get an extra 50-60 kilowatt.
Yeah, right.
Straight up. And you look at the setup, it's so basic. It's like just basically a little belt-driven turbo, like a vacuum cleaner that's just
smacked on with a big brace plate. Which what does that just bolt straight up onto the front of the motor? Or?
Bolt straight on. So you just unbolt a couple mounts that hold some other brackets on. You just on, and it comes with everything. Comes with the pulleys. It's literally all just a bolt-on kit. It takes you half an hour to throw it all on.
Yeah, wicked. What's it worth for the charger setup?
I think they're about. I can't remember. I think they're probably like $3,500 brand new. I think for everything.
Yeah.
But that's not including your tune and injectors and stuff. I think you still got to get all that. But
yeah, right. What's the injection system and all that on this?
It's just standard, nothing too special. It's got a Walbro 460 in it.
Yeah.
Injectors are Coyote injectors off a FG GT.
Yeah. And really, do they fit straight in, or do you have to have adapters?
No, bolt straight in.
Yeah, right.
All the same. That's pretty much. Yeah, it's very, very basic. There's nothing. It's pretty much a budget build. Like,
yeah.
If I put an intake manifold on it, E85, and like just a few other little things, it would make a ton more power. But the problem is these blocks are real weak.
Yeah, because they split down the guts, don't they?
Yeah, they crack where the mains are and stuff like that. And in the valley, they crack across in the middle of the valley.
Yeah.
So mine's sort of at the limit. They say about 350 kilowatt is sort of like the limit for these engines before they start smack break and shit. So once I go E85, it'll probably have around 350, so then I'll cap it at that and no more stuff.
Yeah, and then you can still enjoy it.
Leave the manifold and everything.
So what's the ignition setup on it?
I just got MSD ignition coils. Other than that, everything's stock.
Yeah.
So you can get them pretty cheap. They're a good little.
And so they plug straight into the standard loom.
Yeah, it's all just standard bolt-in stuff. So plug in. It's just plug and play, and they give you a heap more spark. I didn't think it was that much of a difference.
Yeah.
But I had my old coils on, and then I had the spark plug off, and I just wanted to see the difference. And the spark is ridiculously more.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's really good.
That's wicked. Now, the main question everyone wants to know is what gearbox is surviving all this beating?
This is stock T5, nothing else. Yeah, I know it's strengthened. It's got the backing plate they put on the bearing.
Yeah.
Which just helps it hold itself together a bit. I've recently just blew a gearbox up. So that one lasted me 2 years, and I was flat shifting that for most of its life, and it lasted good, and then it failed. I just put another one in, so I'm just driving that a bit easier because I sort of want to. They're really hard to get, but
yeah, everyone's killing them, so it's kind of becoming.
But everyone's pretty surprised I still got a T5.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it's going to go with the 85. It's probably going to have. I reckon that'll probably kill it, but we'll see what happens.
What's it worth to the brace plate and all that for that bearing in the T5?
I think the brace plate's probably about $120, $150.
Yeah.
I can't remember, it was a while ago I got it. And then putting it in, I've done it all myself, so it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Do you have to drill and tap or do anything like that?
No,
or just full bolt in?
Bolt in. You got to shim the gearbox though, like you got to shim the input shaft and everything and make it all right.
Yeah.
It's not just a throw together thing, but it's pretty basic. If you're mechanically knowledge, like you know, sort of to do an engine and stuff, you can easily do it.
Yeah. And what clutch setup?
This extreme heavy duty, just a cheap heavy duty clutch. It's meant to only take, I think they're only like a 300 horsepower clutch. Like they're not that good, but it hasn't had an issue with this.
That's alright.
Yeah. I don't know how much it'd have at the engine. It's probably got 450, 400 at the engine. So.
Yeah.
But once, I just can't wait for the 85. It's gonna be awesome.
And that's pretty much it, isn't it? What, that's just a catch can running off the covers and...
Yep, yeah, it just runs off. Got one off the cover there, which runs under there, and there's one at the PCV valve at the back, and that's it. It doesn't really breathe that much, this engine. It's pretty good. So even with the gapped rings, it's not too bad. But
and all them lines factory, the steel lines?
Yeah, they're all factory injection lines and everything. So it's really good. A lot of all this stuff you can modify it easily with these engines, and they don't. Everything just fits together so perfectly. So, but like it's still got aircon, still got power steering, still got all that stuff, and it's running the factory computer system because they've got Bullet Performance in Geelong to tune it all.
Yeah.
And he still uses the factory Ford computer system, so...
And then what, just flashes it, or...?
Yeah, it just changes the tune on that computer, and so even when I turn my aircon on, the idle comes up. When I turn my power steering, the idle comes up. Like, it's got all the factory stuff it can do.
Yeah.
So when you drive it, the only thing you hear is... The only difference is it's got a lumpy cam and you can hear the supercharger warning. Other than that, it's just... You can daily drive this car every day with no problem.
And that's the best part. It's pretty cool to be able to daily drive something like that.
100%.
Well, I think that's about all they really would ask. That balancer, is that something different?
Yeah, that's a aftermarket Romac balancer.
Yeah.
I used to have a stock one on it, which was good, but I just thought I'd put something better on it, and they're pretty cheap. So I got one of them, put that on. It's been perfect since. These ones, this is a Series 3, so it'll come with an engine oil cooler.
Yeah.
So I can actually give it a fairly hard time, and it'll always keep oil pressure up.
Oh, wicked. I didn't even know they had that.
So yeah, factory, they've got an engine oil cooler, which is pretty cool.
Well, any other crazy shit that's happened to make it work?
I put FG XR6 turbo brakes on it.
Oh, yeah, big brakes.
Yeah, so it's got bigger brakes, which is an easy upgrade on these, because they're the same control arm setup and everything as BABF, so everything just bolts on.
Yeah.
Stock diff, stock everything really. The exhaust is as I said earlier, pacemaker 4-in-1 headers with X-pipe, high flow caps, and twin hooker mufflers at the back. So between 2.5. Sounds really good.
Yeah, we might fire it up and drive her out, I reckon. That's about all I can think of.